Hey, welcome to the channel. If you're new to cryptocurrency and you want to learn more, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button and do that right now. You will enjoy this channel. We're going to talk about a potential altcoin season that is due to happen due to Q2 of the year being the target zone for most alternative coins to be targets for improvement, development and all that good funky stuff. Now, I'm going to get into it. This is going to be fast and hard. You're going to learn a lot. I'm going to teach you about the dominance chart, why you should be holding altcoins when it's going down and why you should be holding Bitcoin when it goes up. That is a thing you really need to know. But I'm going to get into a couple of coins that you should keep an eye on for June. I'm going to list 3 that, in my honest opinion, will probably make some moves. Also, a new IEO that is due to launch in the next coming days on Binance for trading. We know what's happened to the last ones. Free money? Possible. Ride the hype, get out with profit. Simple as that. So, without further ado, let's go. Now, welcome to the channel. I know it's a good one. This is a great video for Friday. Get you excited. I am very, very bullish for the long term of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole. Not every cryptocurrency, I'll put it out there, but some, not all. But if you do like my channel, please do support the Patreon page. I've just created it, it's new, okay? Feel free to be the first tipper or the free associate of the channel. You will get bonus features, you'll get outtakes, you'll get new kind of funky stuff that I'm doing first, really. Pretty cool. So, enough of that. Let's go on to this bit. Now, let's talk about something very, very special in my heart. Altcoins. Looks pretty bad today, looks pretty bleak, but if you just press onto the Bitcoin value, it's not as bad, okay? You know, it's a bit less, but ultimately when we've had a dump like yesterday, and I want to talk through that in a minute, but the fundamentals of all this video is we are on the crisp of a potential altcoin bang over June. I said it in May that we'll see some uprising coins. We did. June, I think, will be the month, in my honest opinion. I think this is where Bitcoin will slow down. It will also increase support rallies from the likes of Ethereum, the likes of Litecoin, XRP, and possibly EOS. Okay, so I want to mention a few coins, but I want to teach you something first. First thing you need to do is have a little look and see what coins are doing what over a period of time. I like to look at Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. So for example, each segment every 3 months of the year, 4 months, literally you need to look. Look all the time, but those focal points, the end of March, the end of June, the end, you know, you can see where I'm going here. They are important. A lot of altcoins have roadmap goals at those stages. So you need to go on a website called CoinMarketCap. And this is kind of, you need to kind of get in these coins before the news happens, before it all kicks off. And then you need to discover, are they in a trend or are they not? You need to work that out fundamentally first. It's a bit harder to find these now because Bitcoin's rallying so hard, and if you're paired with Bitcoin, you know, it's going to create a cross balance. But it stays at the end, you'll see what I mean by that. So again, look at this. Now what's happening? Pundi X, mentioned it a few times. It has got a big few things coming up. Function X Net and the X-Vote to the consumer market. That's a big bit of development. A lot of people will go, okay, and have a little look at that. Another thing that is happening towards the end of the month, Quark Chain, okay? They're releasing their Core and Smart Wallet. That could well get some media and press coverage. Moving on to the next page. Now, Matic network, I mentioned it before. IEOs are doing well. Plasma implementation is happening over the course of this month. It has a bit of hype about it. Matic anyways, I want to speak about that in a bit more detail. That could be the coin grower of the month of June. It could be, it may not be, but ultimately when you get hype and media and people genuinely telling people buy Matic, buy it, buy it, buy it, you see it in all the groups, you see it all over the place. You know, it's going to happen. And one more I want to mention as well is Binance Coin, the obvious one. Why? Another coin burn, margin trading, more use case. It's probably got to pump up again and probably go beyond where it is right now at about $30, $40 into that 50, 60 region, which would not shock me in the slightest. But there's a lot here. check out CoinMarketCap. But I want to speak about those 3 coins in a bit more detail in a second when you go on to them. So, first one I want to mention is Pundi X. Why? Pundi X is doing something quite radical. It's very, very low price at the moment, but it has a lot of potential. XPOS, the Phone X, sorry, doing very, very well. I've spoken a lot about Pundi X and it does very, very well on my channel because a lot of people are very, very bullish on it. A lot of people look at this and think, risky, but that's where the money is. That is where you don't put your life savings in these, you put profits into these sort of coins, the ones that have got potential to do very, very well. So with the Phone X coming out to the consumer market, it's going to make a big difference to how the altcoins run. If you get one altcoin that goes bang, a lot go with it. Look at Engine Coin, look at Raven Coin in the last altcoin season. Big partnerships, they happened at the end of Q1. So Q2 is almost over. Will we see a repeat? Chances are possible. I think so, and I'm going to explain why in more detail. Going to talk about Binance Coin very, very quickly. Margin trading is a big thing. Liquidations, people being stupid, and I don't mean to offend anyone, but if you've never used margin trading before, please learn. You can learn from as little as £5 in the links below, or you can join my Telegram group for free. Margin trading is risky. You are borrowing other people's money to facilitate the art of trading. Margin, okay, leverage. When you're using BitMEX, Bybit, by the way is an awesome exchange. Don't use BitMEX if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, but as an example, BitMEX trades against you, and those 50x, 100x look very, very appealing when you're like, oh, I can make that much, but you get completely wrecked. If you looked at the chart last night, and I want to go over Bitcoin chart in a minute, you would have got completely wrecked if you bought the top and sold the bottom. It happens. I know it sounds obvious, but people FOMO into those positions with high leverage ultimately lose a lot of money, and the liquidations last night was absolutely scandalous. It was boggling. It was absolutely unbelievable, and I can't think of any more words to describe it. But Binance Coin, in my honest opinion, I think it will go again. I think as altcoins go, this will go, and I'm really annoyed that I didn't buy it up at $6 when I said in my premium channel Binance looks like a great proposition. I didn't expect it to pop as much as it has, and it has been higher. We can see that it has been a bit higher. Not by much though. Well, you know, it's not doing bad, is it? But when you look at the market capitalization, it's interesting. But Bitcoin value, it's been a little bit more in certain periods, not by much. And lastly, we're going to talk about Matic. Why am I talking about this? I'll be honest with you, didn't expect the move in altcoins to be facilitated by IEOs potentially. And I want to kind of mention that, and I've said this before, they're risky because we don't know how the market's going to react. We knew that in 2017, the ICOs, whenever an ICO came onto KuCoin, you're like, yeah, let's buy it. It used to rocket. Every time it's like, it's cheating. But it's starting to get to that sort of phase now with Binance IEOs that they moon. Look. So Matic is an example. So keep an eye on Harmony. Harmony's coming out on the 1st of June, tomorrow at 4 AM UTC time. Have a little look and pick an entry point, because if it gets a bit of pumping, it's some easy profit. Now this is a big gain. I'm just going to put it out there. It is a cataclysmic amount of money. Altcoin season could be facilitated by these IEOs coming out. Matic's done very, very well. It's also got new fundamentals and developments coming out in the future. I've already mentioned that. But ultimately, check out Harmony. Put a nice stop loss in there. Give it a go. If you've got profits to risk, try it. Not financial advice, but we know what the pattern is. Let's have a little look at another one, just to see if it backs itself up. Not all of them do it, but ultimately, there you go. So they do pump a little bit. It's always worth money chancing. So let's talk about charts, right? I said at the start of the video, stick around, you're going to learn about the dominance chart. You need this on your chart. I'm not even joking. If you are looking to trade altcoins and Bitcoin and hold both of them, you need to understand the correlation between this and altcoins. Why? When Bitcoin dominance is going up, obvious, green candles signaling bullish behavior, and it peaks up here, that is when Bitcoin is actually at its most dominant. Obviously, it's rallying. That was when Bitcoin went from its $4,000 all the way up to where we ended up at 8K. And obviously last night we popped up to 9k and we're done. We're going to talk about Bitcoin in a second. But when this happens, okay, now I need to fiddle around with my chart a little bit now. Let me just, we'll go with that one. Yeah, cool. Oh dear. Bear with me 2 seconds. While I fiddle with this, now I'm just going to talk. It's very, very important you understand this chart as well. Total 2. Now what is this? Why is this also important? Total 2 is the total market capitalization of the whole industry minus Bitcoin. What can you see? That's a bit of a coloration. You can see very obviously. Now they're not the greatest in charts, I give you that. But you can see very, very clearly. Let's put it to the right one. When Bitcoin is going up, this is actually decreasing. As you can see by that very, very bad trend line. But you can see it's actually, bear with me. Let me just put the squiggly line, there we go, it's coming down. Now, when this is coming down, this is going up. Can you see that? And obviously this is going up a little bit, as this is actually starting to trickle down. So, what does it mean in English? When your Bitcoin dominance is going up, the top chart, you need to be holding Bitcoin, because your altcoins will be bleeding, they'll be dying, they'll be death everywhere, destruction. When the opposite happens, when the altcoins starting to go up, this bit goes up, and the Bitcoin dominance goes down, you need to be holding altcoins, because the altcoin value in Satoshis are going up against your Bitcoin because they're catching up slowly. So when you look at the chart and you think, well, what has happened? We'll look at Litecoin as an example. I just want to try and explain this point and hammer it home to you so it's obvious. This is what happens when Bitcoin rallies. When Bitcoin rallies, we'll start from what day? 8th of Feb. Okay? Top to bottom, boom. 8th of Feb. Look at the difference, okay? Now, you're going to say to me, oh, it doesn't matter, does it? No, it doesn't matter, not at all. You can see that the difference is if you held in Bitcoin your Litecoin, essentially, you would have lost a bit more income, but you wouldn't, if that makes sense. Because Bitcoin's taken up the mantle of the valuation, but you would have lost Satoshi values. If you held it, your Satoshi values will be melting from this point here, whereas this point here is the same duration. Okay, now you look at it there, the absolute fundamentals of it is simple. When your altcoins are going up and your Bitcoin is going up with it, your fiat value is going up. When it's the opposite way around and you're holding it in Bitcoin alone, your Satoshi values bleed. And I've already said that. So that's kind of a visual representation of it so you understand it. I know it's a bit boggling. People say to me all the time, well, what should I do? Simple. Altcoins that are doing well, and you can see they're doing well, hold on to them. If, however, Bitcoin starts to really rally and you see your Satoshi values melt, even Litecoin, it melted, look at it, that's a crazy amount of losses. So say, for example, in that period, you would have lost 40%, give or take, at the top to bottom, amount of Bitcoin valuation. So you'd still be making money in fiat if you take the cash in fiat, but your 0.1 of a Bitcoin in that will now end up as 0.6, which is like, huh? But it makes up for it because Bitcoin has gone up by that percentage, if that makes sense. It's really, really hard to explain. You've got to see it. But again, all you need to worry about is these two charts, Total 2 and Bitcoin dominance. When Bitcoin is severely pumping, go into Bitcoin. Leave your altcoins alone. When the opposite happens, swap over. When Bitcoin dominance goes down, go into altcoins. Simple, really. Now, let's look at Bitcoin very, very quickly, just to kind of explain some things to you. Now, this is obviously the Bitcoin chart, and we had a bit of a sticky patch yesterday. We had a bit of a dump. A bit of a dump. It was a huge dump. What happened? We had a pump and dump. We went up to 9k. We did not close above it though. So you can see here on the chart what has happened. Now, if I just very, very briefly talk about this passage of play here, this wrecked a lot of people. Now, this is not going to be gifted technical analysis. This is just going to be normal observations. When you see a coin trending, okay, it's doing very, very well. But what was to come was already in the offing. There was a dump due. But what caught people off was the pump beforehand. We pumped up to 9k. This point here, we went, way! And then, bang. The divergence in the RSI and the MACD was given as a telling sign that on the 4 hour time frame we were going to have a move down. We're going to have a retracement, but it was a big swing. If I talk about swings, it was an 11% swing, nearly $1,000 move, which is crazy when you think about it. So, how do you stop being wrecked off those? Simple. You never buy the tops and you never sell the bottoms. Wait. Just wait. Wait. It's a perfect answer for everything. Now, this is obviously what happened over the course of the night. Pop, back down. People would have looked at this and I shit thee not would have bought up here. They would have been like, we're going to 10k, we're going to 10k. People would have sold here and be like, we're going to 6k, we're going to 6k. The people that win are the people that act the quickest and they see the stuff. Hit the subscribe button, press other videos, I don't know where they are. I need to really look to find out where they are and go from there. Always remember risk management though. Your risk is your biggest strategy. Manage that and you win.